If you are bad news, brother. And as we continue to celebrate your birthday today, we want to salute you, my brother, for all the things that you're doing and representing Zimbabwe, raising our flag so high. And we're so excited that you were live with us here on After 5 Radio. And you know what? You've been also hanging out with one of our very best, that is Q Cash. And much love from him. He was so excited to hear your voice. And thank you for celebrating him. As we celebrate you, it is indeed your birthday. And this is the song that you dropped today. And you chose, what an honor. You chose to drop it right here on After 5. And for that reason, you also came up and said, listen guys, I have a challenge. And that challenge is indeed snap that challenge. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I am just going to cue this song, as now you will not believe it. My amazing sister, the one and only Chiedza Tauchira Mavangira is now with me, and let me give her a big round of applause as I welcome her back to Zimbabwe. Hello.
I think it's good evening.
Hello, Chiedza.
Hello, how are you, sir?
I am so excited. Chiedza, you and I have been friends on Facebook. And guess what, sis? We are live.
I don't know if that's good or bad thing. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but okay.
It's a fantastic thing. It's a fantastic thing. And I must tell you, I've been following your work, and I'm excited. And you know what? I love it. I love our conversations, far and wide, but very meaningful. And I thought, you know what? I had to bring my sister onto the program and let them know that she got some sense in her book. Come on, girl. What's your name? So, Chiedza,
thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, a lot of people, I'm sure, are excited. I must tell you, the number of people who were saying to me, anyway, are you saying you're going to be with Chiedza, the Chiedza? And I said, yeah, I'm going to be with the Chiedza on my station. And I'm going to be rocking with her. And we want to talk. I want to go straight into it. But before I do, because you know what, Chiedza, today, then somebody sends me, I must tell you this I can tell you. Your history and my history are equal. Heads and tails. Same fanana. And I want to thank you. I'm going to be very controversial here.
Okay.
Pane video, Chichi. Can I call you Chichi?
Okay. You can call me Chichi.
Chichi, because my daughter's name is Chichi.
I like that.
Pane video ya wakaposta mwana wa mai wangu uchipopotera wanhu wakakukanya. That is my story. When my dad passed away, my uncles did the same stuff. And you know what, girl? I just want you to know, I almost cried when I was listening to your video. And I listened to it today.
Oh.
I almost cried. Because you know what? Sometimes people don't understand. When we get these big names, Tahapa Radio and Tahaku Los Angeles, we're doing big things. And people want to pull us down. But I want to salute you, because even this book is a salutation, is a remembrance of how important our mothers are.
And thank you so much for saying that. And I'm actually, you're almost making me cry. I've done 500. I've done over 500 inspirational Chief Talks, which is the umbrella under which I do those videos. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You know me. I believe as an artist in using my words as the paint on a canvas, and also my words as paint on a canvas when I'm writing. And so for a lot of people who don't understand me, I would just say, imagine you were watching a movie. When you watch a movie, it's got highs and lows, it's got romance and tragedy, it's got death and success and failure. So that's the same way that I deliver myself to the world. The word artist is a very important word to remember when you're talking to me, because that's what I am. I'm a creative, and there's always a rhyme and a reason to what I'm doing and saying. And that specific video, I really felt like I had to make a tribute to transcending the environment that I used to belong to, because when my dad passed away, I saw the way my mom was treated. Firstly, my dad committed suicide.
Right.
And in our culture, that's shrouded with so much talk. Actually, I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe people are supposed to live forever in June, but Panofamuno like that is just a lot of controversy. And fortunately, well, not fortunately, but in a way, fortunately for my mom and me, the day my dad passed away, I happened to be home. I happened to be the one who ran down the street to get the ambulance.
Right.
Fuel. I
Right.
was there when the guys kicked down the door. I
Right.
was there to basically witness the fact that this man went into his room, locked himself, and committed suicide.
Yeah.
With the relatives, they were not listening to me, obviously.
Yeah.
They just decided whatever they decided. And it was devastating to see a house that used to be full of hama.
Yeah.
We were always catering
Yeah.
to somebody.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, my dad is dead. It's an empty house. No furniture, no food, nothing. So that definitely left a very big impression, and it's probably been one of the biggest things that I attribute to my success because I had this. I'm going to show them.
Come on, sister. I'm with you right there. And you know what? I'm writing a book. As you're probably aware, I know you've been commenting on my reckless verses. Don't Chiedza. Following on. You have a huge following, and I write these reckless verses, and I see Chiedza is laughing. Nakati don't someone on my hung.
They are so insightful that I'm just like, dang, I need to know where this guy has been and what he has done and with whom. Because you can definitely tell it's a keyhole into somebody's psyche, and I'm like,
So I agree with you. And in my other book that I'm writing, it's called The Freedom to Fail. And I write a chapter exactly what you are saying there. And the chapter is to say the orphan spirit. And sometimes people look at us as one baba, as if to know it compensate baba. Yet people never gave us an opportunity. And when Chiedza then writes a book, and on her cover, she's got this beautiful, beautiful art piece. People are now commenting, hey Chiedza, Harimita say, you have no idea what Chiedza has had to go through for her to be so bold, to come out and say, you know what? I am going to be a true representation of who I am. And hey, sister, stop me from preaching now.
You know what? Actually, that's a very, very good topic that you touched on. And I'm going to put in the context of worldview. In terms of worldview, you look at things like epistemology, which is how you acquire knowledge. You look at cosmology, which is your regards to God and how you interact with the cosmos. You look at analogy. There's a number of things that you look at when you consider worldview.
Right.
And so as somebody who has had the privilege to transition from a third world country to the United States of America, I've been exposed to a lot of culture. And what a Zimbabwean community doesn't understand is sometimes they need to widen and broaden their reference, their frame of reference, because ukatarisa munhu akashama in Zimbabwean context kuroya kukuroya.
And you see your book has got this. Is that you in that is that a painting or a drawing?
Yes, that's actually a painting by a world-renowned artist. His name is Richard Bell. He is the art director, international art director of one of the biggest art galleries in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He's a very amazing guy. Just in a nutshell, his story is he used to work in IT, making 6-7 figures. He was driving his red Ferrari very fast one day. Please, guys, drive cautiously. Don't drink and drive out there.
Yeah.
And he wasn't drinking and driving, but he was a reckless driver and he got into an accident.
Wow.
It cost him the use of his limbs. So he's a quadri. I can't pronounce
it. Is that why he's in a wheelchair? I saw in your book.
This is one guy who doesn't feel sorry for himself. He's got when I met him, I was on the red carpet for a non-for-profit called Trauma for Artists, the rehabilitation of patients and people through art.
Yeah.
And so I met him on the red carpet, and then the host of the party wanted to do a documentary. She was the producer for a documentary that's going to be coming out very soon. You guys keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be in the local Newport Film Festival. It's called Felony to Art. So I had the privilege to meet Richard Bell again, and we interviewed him, and that's when I found out that can I still paint him? I'm with a paintbrush, you pack it on my gloves and pick up on my walk. You paint that painting that you saw, he's in constant pain 24/7 because of the spinal cord injury that he sustained during the accident. This is a man who is always happy. He always encourages my spirit. He uplifts me. Are you okay? And then he'll tell you, right now I'm in on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm in 20 pain. Wow. So when you have those quality of mentors that humble you and improve your perspective. And so that's one of many paintings that he's done with me. I'm actually one of his nieces. And those paintings actually hang in the Beverly Hills International Art Gallery and other very famous art galleries in Los Angeles. And that's why I always want to say to Zimbabweans, never judge a book by its cover, and be very cautious how you judge people, because when people are dissing me and disrespecting me, a painting that's probably trending for $20,000. When I walk around Los Angeles, I'm a famous artist muse. When I go to art gallery events, I'm a famous artist muse. When I come onto Zim social media, it's brilliant. I've learned to do, I know my country. I enjoy the dichotomy. I find it very amusing, and furthermore, I'm somebody who likes to be very humble. And as you would know yourself, to be a writer, you have to live amongst the people.
Yes.
Because my characters are my stories.
Chiedza, your book is entitled, and by the way, can I be naughty, Chiedza? Please, can I be naughty?
Yes.
Guys, if you want to see Chiedza naked, buy her book.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I've got so many guys, and just what I know, what I quote and write. Like I said, I look at the demographic as a writer.
Yeah.
So my demographic, the people who are making me successful in the United States of America, it's the same audience that incidentally Oprah Winfrey had.
Okay.
There's a huge segment of women in the United States of America and in Eurocentric countries, as you would know, who are very liberated and independent. They range from 18 to, I would have to say 55. That's my core demographic of people who buy my books, who inbox me, who love me, and who pursue me. It's like I'll get something like somebody going, oh my God, when is the next art gallery? Kind of be some people who are art connoisseurs will be like, oh my God, is this a Richard Bell painting? And then
So indeed, ladies and gentlemen, I am live with Chiedza, my amazing sister, and many of you may think this is the first time I'm talking to her. We share a lot of stories and we talk, and she is indeed Mavangira, and she doesn't make any apologies for that. What your mom didn't tell you: life, men, love, dating, sex, relationships, girlfriend, you just dropped it all in there.
And I commend our culture for that. And I want Zimbos to know, even though sometimes I'm very tongue-in-cheek and sarcastic when it comes to my commentary, I obviously love my country.
Of course.
There's so many people who come to diaspora, and you guys might not know, but there's so many people who, when they reach a certain level, they start to claim to be from South Africa. That's the going trend.
Really?
It's not what. It's true. I've seen so many successful Zimbabweans. I sort of them from South Africa, but I've realized it's a perception thing. They don't want to be associated to a country that's got such dismal failure.
Right.
Whereas for me, it's a privilege.
Right.
And it's an honor as an artist to say, how do I start to reinvent the narrative? How do I inspire that little girl who's been told she can't go to school, she can't make it? I'm a single mom. Well, I'm engaged now, but I was
hold on. You can't just drop it in there, because I didn't see this happening, girlfriend. Andrea, okay, Mombe.
I remember that is because of Corona.
Well, congratulations.
But I've actually been trying to talk to my uncles and see if we can have a virtual ceremony.
Wow.
Things need to move forward, family. We can utilize some of this technology. But that I really wanted the experience of and so forth. I think it will be fun.
Well, guys,
we're definitely looking forward to being on the ground.
Yeah. makorokoto makorokoto ndikatimboridze explosion ako nikamwako. And so my sister, let's go straight to it. Congratulations one more time. Never be sold on love. 10 reasons why. Aiwaka 9 tete rudoka. And then you give your 10 points, because I want people to buy your book. I'm only going to look at 2 points there. Hansi, here lies a salesman who had empathy. What are you talking about, sis? Rudondizhoga.
But I think women need to bring their brains and not their hearts to the table. I'm gonna explicate that. I think Kuti, I'm pursuing my higher education, so you'll have to forgive me because I really think it's important to be politically correct. Number one, something that you guys might be aware of or not aware of is that there's a lot of advance that's arriving in what we understand of medicine. They used to think Kuti gender was binary, Kuti male and female, but now they're finding out that there's something in between an X and an XY chromosome. And that speaks to our transgender community, that speaks to our LGBT community. For me, I find things like that fascinating because we only know what we know.
Right.
But our ability to evolve is based, our ability to survive as a species is based on that ability to assimilate new information and then use it. So that's what I'm basically saying to women. I'm saying with the fairy tales that your mom read you when you were a little girl, that's not applicable. And if you approach love with that fairy tale, it's going to be happy ever after. You're going to find yourself in an abusive relationship. You're going to find yourself being passed from men to men. You're going to find yourself as a single mom. You're going to find yourself being called Wure Saka. How do you approach love? You need to approach love with the same calculation that I think men in general do. Men are very calculating. Like a woman can love a man for no reason. I just feel like this pure love for him. Whereas a man will basically break it down and say, this can be the mother of my children. This is my side chick. This is my quarter house. So I'm basically saying to women in a conversation with men, okay, and when I say women, it's now WOMX. That X stands for transitional and so forth. Can I tell my women up and to include over and so forth?
Chichi wakutodena wanu so wakutodena wanu
And I'm a student of literature, so that's how we spell it. We don't no longer use the plural. You could see women with an E. Aiwa, tapita women with an X. That's actually the politically correct term in the United States of America. So that covers, but it's a back and forth. It's like, hey, what gender do you want to be? Actually, I went for an interview lately for something, and on the form it said, what's your assigned gender? So that means that I can walk into a room and you can perceive me as a female, but my assigned gender can be male. So in a world that is this confusing. I think women need to really get a grip on what love is. Love is a function of biology. There's 3 C's for you to say that I have found love. The compatibility. That means where you are in life. There's communication. That's what we train. That's what I teach, and that's what I'm going to school to get my doctorate in cognitive psychology with the mind and communication. That's communication. Then chemistry is God given because who you have chemistry with. But you can definitely cultivate your communication skills, and you can make sure you share compatibility so that you don't end up with a broken heart.
Yes, man. Wow, sis. before we go to the next one. You dropped a name, and I can't let that one slide. In one word, sis, I said one word. Anditika, one word. What's your relationship like now with Tatalicious?
Capricious.
We will not go there. The next one, which is pretty exciting, is 10 reasons to die to the old, to be born again. Femme fatale. What does that mean?
Femme fatale is a term that's used that implies the woman who is aware of her sexuality and leverages it as a tool of seduction. If you guys remember the James Bond movies, all those women who are cast in the lead role, that would be a
Come
great
on.
personification of a femme
Come on.
fatale. Like it's a woman who's not apologetic of her sexuality, her femininity. You know what I mean? Her ability to spin men on their feet.
So Chiedza, I realize the amount of work you put in the next chapter. But before I do, and in this one, how did you say you pronounce that? In that femme fatale again?
No, it's okay. It's French. It's femme fatale.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Anyway, I highlighted number 4 and number 7. Hansi, be heartless and mysterious. That's 4 and 7. Point number 4 and point number 7. Talk to me about that.
Be heartless is exactly that. I think when a woman is looking for a spouse, you gotta say he's going to be the best provider.
Come
and
on
when
now.
you're talking about the best provider, pane competition come kwasha.
Yes, man.
Pane competition. Saka, what you have to do in your mind, you have to really assess the person heartlessly and say, okay, he can do A, B, D, but is that going to be a stable home environment to raise kids? Say hypothetically you want kids, they can do wow, he's so sexy, but we don't share the same morality. He doesn't go to church, I go to church.
Chichi, hold on, Chichi. Chichi, hold on. Hanzi newakuru wekuno kuZimbabwe kwawakazvarirwa. Moyo muti unomera paunoda, and you're telling me that you're gonna be heartless. What you talking about, girl?
You gotta be heartless, because one of the weaknesses, if you ask men, one of the weaknesses that they prescribe women, it's the fact you could wear too soft-hearted. I'm saying, no, girl. If it's financial, go to school, be a hustler, be savvy. Because let me tell you something, more selective. Wow. And then when we speak to a woman's mistakes, I'm just basically saying, in a relationship with a man, always keep him guessing. And I'm speaking from experience. That's too much information, because the problem is it makes your partner relax. I'm not going to cage. I'm just every time of the day. Be mysterious. Have points in time where he doesn't know where you are, where he needs to pick up the phone and you go, I'm sorry, I'm having lunch with my girlfriend right now. Do you mind? And I'm not talking about being deceptive. I'm talking about being mysterious. There's a difference. Being deceptive, being mysterious is not giving away too much information, because a relationship needs to be kept exciting.
Chiedza, but I was bored. I was bored. So the next chapter for me is exciting. But before I talk about the next chapter, for me this was a clear demonstration that my sister put a mind into this. And when you get your PhD, please remind us at after 5. We want to celebrate you. Dr. Chichi. So before I talk about that one, people must buy your book. Where can they buy your book, sis?
My book currently is on Amazon, and I've got a lot of people who have who used to complain because they couldn't get it in different pockets of the world. If that is the case, just simply contact me on my website, which is www.chiedzam.com. That's CHIEDZAM.com. www.chiedzam.com. That would be an anomaly, and we would make, I would rectify the situation. Otherwise, Amazon is the most efficient, effective, and cheapest way for you to order your book. You can either get it on Kindle for only $2, or you can get it directly from Amazon. It's only $9.99 plus shipping and handling. And very soon, for those of you who are very, very busy, I'm going to have the audio version, so you can play it on your iTunes or your SoundCloud when you're jogging, running, or driving to work.
So, Chiedza, today I sat there and I said, you know what, let me look for this, and I bought my book. It is so easy. It is on my computer right now, and I'm looking at it, and this is why I know so much about your book, because I'll be going through it. And I can't wait to strangle you, girl. I cannot wait because you've been messing up.
I know why you want to strangle me because I gave the girl some game.
I'm gonna strangle
I
you.
gave the girl some game.
I got
gave
nothing
the girl
but love
some
for you,
game.
sis, but I'm gonna strangle you, I promise you. So let's go to the chapter that I said this has been absolute brilliance. Hansi na Chiedza, my fellow listeners. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. 10 reasons why some of your BFFs should be men. Huh?
Yep, and pakauta pedins in the daughter as you believe. But I'm saying, no, girl, you've been misinformed. It's very, very, very important for a female to have platonic male friends. Now, rule number one, no kuti any man who is your friend, I can go mirror kukutaimira kutarani. Saka it's about you knowing. I said any male who is a friend with a female, as a female, you need to know men don't have any such thing called platonic relationships. Whatever weakness, they are predatory. Men are about their sex. But as a woman, you only know your makoning which is his type young, but he makes a good friend. That boundary is created by the woman, but you don't need to tell the guys that. I've got so many guys who've been my friends for so many years. They've never slept with me, but guess what? I've acquired so much wisdom because when you've got male friends, they can give you the male perspective. Because you have to understand that men and women are different. So I mean, my own conclusion. That's what I mean. My male friend, Chiedza, you're being played, baby. And good male friends are gay men. They make the best friends with the shopping. But girl, you ain't gonna let that nigga always. And if you ever in a fight, you end up at doing it in a gay friend. You're going to break up when I'm not become. Because one room is you back in. But you can't shopping.
Chiedza, now let's go. Because once again, I want people to buy your book. I have bought your book. We are live on After 5 Radio. All we want is to promote you. You are an amazing sister to me. And I've said it publicly that I love you, but I want to strangle you. And so, deal with that girlfriend. And here's another part. How can you say a whole chapter? Monogamous relationships, love at gunpoint. Iwe, what are you saying?
The concept of monogamy to me is a cane. And by a cane, I mean it needs to be retired and shelved. Now, I'm not saying there is not those 0.01% of people who are capable of monogamy like penguins.
No. Say like Coach Tough, my brother. Say like Coach Tough, my brother.
Like Coach Tough, my brother. He likes to be exceptional to the rule. But for most of us people, I think when you put it Sazanema Guru, and by the way, you guys follow my brother Sazanema Guru on social media. It's a brand new platform, but I just love his truth. I love his truth, honey.
Yeah.
Saka, you can't. Some of us we just want variety. Saka, number one, don't commit before you're ready to commit, because as we already know, it leads to, especially in the context of African culture and community, there's a lot of women being killed. This is very, very serious. There's a lot of women being physically abused. Saka, you just don't put yourself into a situation. And when I say monogamy by gunpoint, is I always advise women to negotiate a relationship like you're negotiating a business contract, where you come to the table and you say to someone, like I say to my fiance, I like my freedom. I'm going to pose naked for Richard Bell. I'm going to be on my social media platforms at midnight if I need to talk to a different time zone. I'm going to jump onto an airplane and go to London if I've got a book signing. But to no extent will I ever expect someone to back me up into a psychological, emotional corner with a hypothetical gun. All I need to understand is what are the terms of engagement. Is it an open relationship? Don't ask, don't tell me. Some situations So there's so many things you can negotiate. Girls time out, boys time out, meaning could you go to Vegas with your girlfriends and not he goes to Vegas with his boys and whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So that's just an adult way of saying, listen, I know you're a human. And rather than let that temptation be something, let's make preparation for when that temptation finds you. This is how I want you to handle yourself so that we can preserve the integrity of our relationship.
So, Chiedza, I have a special greetings to you. And soon after this greeting, I want to then talk about the last chapter that we'll profile today. And maybe we can have you again some other time. But there's a special greeting, lots of love from one of our After Five radio presenters, Q Cash, Quincy.
Oh my God! That is very, I'm blushing actually right now. I really love Q Cash. I love how he caters to the cater community, but he really caters to us all. And unfortunately, I might have to bribe Q because Q is my personal favorite. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell to the no. Tell him because I'll send him. I didn't think about drink fair weekend.
So what would you like to say to Q Cash really quick? Because I've got him on one of our platforms and he's listening in.
Oh my gosh, Q, I love you so much. And to repeat my offer, Chatzula Maria to my drink. This weekend is about me, baby boy. And thank you for the love. I really appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So let's conclude this wonderful interview I've had with you. And Chiedza, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your patience.
Oh, and actually, sorry to interrupt you. I just want to give an example. Q is the kind of male friend I'm talking about. I think Q Cash is attractive. He's sexy. He's got it going on. But he's in my friend zone of men that I can go to and say, hey, Q, what does this mean? If a boy says or does this, does he love me? And then Q is the kind of guy who'd be like, no. You need to, you need to watch your guy. You know what I mean? That's the example that I'm giving. It's good to have male friends, solid male friends around you.
Wonderful. And Q Cash, we love him, and you can catch him on After Five every single weekday from 6 o'clock in the mornings, CAT, that's Zimbabwean time, to 9 o'clock. So please tune in. He is on what we call the Get Up and Go show. So thank you so much for that love to Q Cash, Chiedza. And so, Chiedza, I was saying, thank you so much. You've been so patient. You've been so gracious. And even now, the way you're talking, you're full of life. We love your passion. But I'm going to end with this last chapter. And then you're going to tell us one more time where we can get your book, where we can get a hold of you. And I think this book is amazing. But I'm still saying this. I love you, sis, but I'm going to strangle you. Gold digging 101, 10 quick tricks. What the heck are you talking about?
One thing you have to understand with my book is that it's a lot like my personality. You have to be very clever to decipher. Saka, when a lot of people see gold digging 101, and I know Robert because they run to make assumptions, and they think that I'm encouraging women to be gold diggers. That's not what that chapter is about at all. The more you go into that chapter, you'll see the way I wrote this book is the way that I would talk to my own daughter. If somebody said, Chiedza, you've got 24 hours to live. That's what I captured in this book. The real shit. Not the shit your mom says. I'm talking about the stuff you tell your daughter if you know you're not going to be there and you're trying to send her into the world. Saka Gold Digging 101 just basically says, listen, if you want to gold dig, that's your prerogative. I'm not a moralist. You already know I go topless. Saka, in other words, but this is what you need to be aware of. Gold dig. That kind of man usually has 100 other women around him who have the same intention for him. Either he's flamboyant, he's rich, but like that kind of character, which he flies to shit, he's gonna attract many women of ill repute. Sakanoko, the line is long, panic competition. Number two, that person, because of the availability of women in his life, he's more likely than not to be promiscuous, and so forth. Hey, use protection and be away. Furthermore, they're just good at flossing. And I'm going to leave this as the third point. I don't give the whole book away. Some people are just good at flossing, giving you the symbols of wealth, but in reality, the guy is spread thin. He's got 7 baby mamas, 20 side chicks, and you're just a quarter house. Saka, I'm saying wear your hard head, meaning practice some caution. It's a metaphor for protect your heart because not all that glitters is gold.
Chiedza. And so, Chiedza, that was a big round of applause just for you, my beloved sister.
Thank you.
And there is Pam who's listening in all the way from Canada, and she says she's loving the conversation. You are super duper amazing. But I'm gonna love you and leave you, my sis, and say goodbye. And I can't wait to call you back in because you got a next book coming up, sister.
Yes, I do. Born Without Borders is my autobiography. It will give you a good backdrop on what we started talking when I first came onto the show and we're talking about our background and how it makes us who we are. And I think it's not a light read. It's definitely something that I'm hoping to win a Pulitzer. It's more of an academic text, but I would highly recommend to anybody who loves my work. And there's more coming out in the What Your Mom Didn't Tell You series. It's What Your Mom Didn't Tell You about social media, losing your virginity and building your brand. And then I also have another book coming out for the holidays called Dream Quest, learning to decipher your dreams to unlock your full potential. So I write lots of fun books, but if you want a really serious read, Born Without Borders, I highly recommend grabbing that off your shelf. And once again, you guys can get my book on Amazon Kindle for $2, Amazon proper if you want a hard copy in the mail. And you guys don't do the rush delivery. It costs more money. Just get the regular ground delivery. That's $9.99. And then last but not least, it's also going to be available on audio shortly.
So, Chiedza, tell everybody that you love After 5 Radio.
I love After 5 Radio.
Bye-bye, Chiedza. God bless you. And hook up soon, sis.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.